OverboardHumor, 1.34 million subscribers, a creator whose channel exploded alongside his peers in the pranking era, but who was slowly forgotten about as YouTube changed and evolved. But how did this happen? How did he get from making millions of views per month to being homeless with only a few hundred views? With the rise of the pranking era on YouTube, many creators rose to fame. Today we're going to be talking about one of those YouTubers who rose to fame in 2014, but ended up falling off entirely and now is living in a tent just a few years later. The golden era of YouTube pranks. This was mainly from 2009 to 2014, with some of the top channels being College Humor, Roman Atwood, Vitaly, and Prank vs. Prank, just to name a few. Some of those channels and individuals are still doing great today on YouTube and have adapted to YouTube's changes, but others haven't. Some just disappeared and others fell off entirely. Garret Garcia was amongst the explosion of YouTube pranks. He created his channel in January of 2011. Garrett's goal was simple: I want to make as many people laugh as I can in my lifetime. He started from humble beginnings, and his first video was posted on January 13th, 2011 titled College Reverse Prank Phone Call. He said he was inspired by his idols, which were Jack Vale and Ed Bassmaster, and he aspired to do the same thing as them. He then went on to making funny pranks in Walmart and Target, really just messing with people. After his initial start, he decided to make a plan to grow his channel. He decided he would take comment requests from people and say exactly what the comments said. This was somewhat of a big genre of YouTube pranks back in this era, with some other channels doing the same thing, and later on this popularized text-to-speech on platforms such as Twitch and streaming live on YouTube, where the donation, which is usually at a specific price, has to be met, to then be played by a robot live on air. Lots of people find this to be very comical, and usually the situation is left feeling very awkward if it's in public. His second video in this series really took off, and this ultimately was his big break. He then continued these pranks, becoming extremely successful in the genre and creating many videos with millions of views. Most of these videos were with women in the thumbnail, with a hilarious title that really grabbed a lot of people's attention. Given the current time in YouTube, this was still a very large part of YouTube, and you could definitely tell that the target audience was guys who were in the age range of 15 to 25. He was also known for his red glasses and large afro. Add to this his personality of being awkwardly confident, and the audience loved the funny situations this brought. After continuing and doing so well during this time, he ended up having a child in 2016 with his then girlfriend, Ashley Dugan, which just in 2015 they said this:
"Pull-out game, weak or strong?"
Very strong.
Ashley Dugan was his girlfriend throughout the entirety of his channel. She was there from the start and helped him film and even edit the videos. She was also in quite a few videos, with the first one being Public Trolling Noodle 2, Ashley Overboard Humor. And after they continued to make videos with Garrett interviewing and talking to women, with most of the channel being centered around this, the relationship was still strong, with Garrett and Ashley deciding to raise a child together. Then, just 1 year after having the child, a crashing point happened in his career. On May 27th, 2016, Garrett uploaded a video titled Update: Mother of my child arrested, domestic abuse, restraining orders, and my mission in life. This was a 43-minute video stating how his relationship with Ashley grew toxic over time and they eventually started hitting each other. He described that after 2 days of arguing, Ashley hit Garrett and even bit him. Cops were called and then she went off to jail. Immediately after she got out of jail, she decided to cheat on Garrett.
Remember one time you were making out in the back of Alan's car with the girl?
No.
You don't remember that?
No.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
You're such a liar.
I never made out in the back of Alan's car.
What car was it? Was it my car?
I don't know.
Your car? Well, Alan was driving and you were in the back making out with the girl. I mean, like, it was beyond kissing. Like, I'm not going to go into super detail touching and stuff, you know. It was exciting for me. And I was like, all right.
I don't want to talk about this.
Why?
Because I'm not, happy about that.
You didn't like it?
My pet peeves is people who cheat. I hate that.
Garrett knew something was up, and he confronted her about this, and she ended up blaming the entire situation on anxiety and depression. He also stated that he was done making the videos that he used to make. He said he no longer wanted to make pranks, saying that they got boring, and instead his goal was to feed starving children and help world hunger. This was the beginning of the fall for him in his career. He ended up going to the hospital on June 12, 2016 from an anxiety attack that he was having just due to the entire situation. And the day after, he made a video titled Ashley Cheated on Me. In this video, he explained the entire situation and what he was going through at the time. He ended up having to leave his apartment, deal with lawyers, and even move in with his dad. After this, he continued to upload videos that related to the emotional turmoil that he was going through at the time. Lots of people began disliking his videos because they believed he wasn't properly moving on. Most of these videos didn't have that many views compared to his previous videos because his viewers subscribed for funny pranks and seeing him talk to women in public, not his emotional distresses and problems that he had going on in his life. He then went on to upload some vlogs and only a taste of his previous content that he was posting. He also had a second channel, but he didn't really upload vlogs to that one like most prank YouTubers did at the time, where they only uploaded their vlogs just strictly to their second channel. So in the matter of a few months, he stopped posting as much as he did normally, and he switched up his content entirely. This can be the nail in the coffin for most channels on YouTube. He continued uploading vlogs, with most of them having an underlying theme about Ashley, and he even started smoking and tried to be medicated on Mary Jane, mostly using this as a band-aid to make him feel happy and that his life was together, and the viewers could tell that this wasn't fixing the problem. Instead, he was relying on something to make him feel better. Then, on July 16th, 2016, he uploaded a video titled, "We Are Getting Back Together," and this wasn't related to Ashley at all, but it was more of a previous prank style video that he used to make. In this video, he decided to go up to a stranger and read a comment just like he did in some of his previous videos. He probably uploaded this realizing that his viewers wanted to see his original content. And after this, he tried to upload more videos, but he mostly filmed them himself. During this period, his views were very inconsistent, with one of his videos reaching only 11,000 viewers and his most being 1 million. In this video with only 11,000 views, he stated that when he moved out of his apartment, he had to put stuff in a storage unit, and he didn't continue to make payments on his unit, so the company seized his stuff and sold his belongings on eBay, and one of those belongings being his gold play button. Take the emotional roller coaster that he was going through and adding the YouTube adpocalypse, with most of his videos being not ad friendly, and his motivation started to dwindle, and he didn't know what to do and how to change and adapt properly to move forward. He ended up living with a few people after living with his dad, one of those being a fan of the channel, and then some other roommates eventually. He then began to live stream on his second channel, and he started taking donations to drink alcohol. This was similar to Only Use Me Blade, a commentary YouTuber who was very loved in the Call of Duty scene, but then eventually started live streaming and taking donations to drink more alcohol. Sadly, he got kicked out of each place he lived in, and he had to sell his Mercedes. And eventually, in February 2020, his roommates kicked him out and he became homeless. And that leaves us to where we are today. He has no motivation for pranks, and he says that the current climate of YouTube is no place for pranks.
I gotta find some fucking weed. How come you don't upload the same videos as you used to? Mostly because YouTube doesn't pay me.
But let me just say that that's not true at all. For example, if you look at creators like Cassidy Campbell, he gained most of his subscribers after the adpocalypse, and even if his videos aren't monetized that well, he has a Patreon with a large and loyal following. Another example is Vlog Creations, who gained all of his subscribers after 2016 and continues to have millions of views on each video. The biggest issue is that he started smoking and drinking. This with no goal or proper friends or support group, and he started to take longer breaks in between uploads. And that's what's going on now. He will make live streams complaining to people to send him money on any possible source to do that through. And he lives in a tent in the woods near LA. He says that he has day jobs, but he doesn't prove it, and instead he just asks for money on stream, and then he will buy drugs and alcohol the very next day. And at this point, that's all he's doing. His audience doesn't even like him anymore, and he doesn't like them. And he live streams in a drunken state to wait and beg for someone to send him money just so he can buy more drugs and alcohol the very next day. When I was in high school, I loved to watch his videos, and it was so entertaining to watch, and since then, it has been sad to see his downfall. This was the rise and fall of Garret Garcia. The explosion of growth he had was sadly destroyed by his own personal issues in life, which ruined his career. In the future, we can only hope that he turns it around and gets a hold of his life once again.
From now, if I'm making millions, you can look back at this video and go, how did he do that? I'll reach out to you guys, I'll talk to you. I'm laughing, I'm thinking of Ty Lopez, I'll teach you how to do it. But really, like, 2 years from now, I'll be in my garage and I'll have a Lamborghini.